And hello YouTube, this is GSmaniamsmart and I'm taking a brand new video for tutorials with GS. In today's tutorial, we're going to take a look at Photoshop and how to add textures and use blending modes to enhance your picture to make it look really cool. And it's pretty easy to do, can be a lot of fun, especially if you have lots of different textures and you have lots of different experimentation with blending modes. You can turn your picture into something really nice looking. So I would say the first step that you want to do is try to get your textures. I have 4 textures here. You might want to have them in a folder instead of just on the desktop like I have. You can very easily just go on Google and type in textures. And if you want to have a specific texture like a spring texture or a winter texture or something like that, you can just get any texture here really. And heck, we're going to use this one right here because it looks pretty nice. We're going to go ahead and press File, Save Image As, and we're just going to go ahead and save it to desktop. If you want to be more organized, obviously save it to a folder or whatnot. So we have our textures here. So in Photoshop, we're going to go ahead and open up a picture. Now I would say the first thing you want to do, you should get into a habit of doing this, is adjusting the levels or adjusting brightness and contrast and working with curves to make your picture look as best as possible. This is a picture of me and my girlfriend here. So we're gonna go to layer and go to new adjustment layer and perhaps look at levels here. And that's fine. And with the levels, you want to move these around and see what looks good. We don't need any more darks, but what I do want to do is move this a bit like that, and just move these arrows around, see what looks good for your type of picture, and just get it looking nice. I think that's good. And you can always uncheck the adjustment layer like so. As you can see, it looks a little better. We don't have that weird gray haze over the picture, so it's good to always work with new layers. Now after we've done that, what we're going to do is go ahead and drag in our textures. What you can also do is work with curves. Curves can be really good to work with too, so you can go to layers, new adjustment layer again, and you could add a curves like so. And if you wanted to add a nice S curve, you could like so, but for my picture isn't really that good. Because I think it looks fine with just levels, but you could do something with curves if you really wanted to, but we're not going to do that for this picture right here. We're just going to go ahead and delete that. That's fine. So let's go ahead and add our texture. We're going to go ahead and use this autumn texture here. So we're going to drag it above and want to make it rather big. Now one general rule that you want to know about is that don't add dark areas over the face. Try to keep light areas over the face of your subject, and then you can keep dark areas outside of the face. So if we take a look at this, our face is right around here. So there we go. That's good. So we have the dark areas at the bottom here and at the top here. Now you want to smooth out this texture. So we're going to go to filters up here, go to blur, then go to Gaussian blur right here, and pick something like anything between 30 to 60 should be good. We want to have this creamy look right here, which is what we're looking for. And then we're going to go ahead and change our blending mode here to soft light. Soft light's always a good one to start off. And look, it looks really nice. If we go ahead and take a look at this, we have this nice texture over. Now, what we can also do is we can duplicate this again. We have a better effect. We can play around different blending modes. We can pick multiply, for example, and we get that. Now, it's a bit dark. What you can do is either change the opacity here to say something like 50% if you wanted to, but what you can also do is, other than changing the opacity, we can actually create a layer mask. So we go at the bottom here to click at the bottom here to create a layer mask, and then make sure you're on your layer mask here. Grab a brush, and then with a black color, and you want to make sure your hardness is down to 0. Pick a relatively big brush, like 500 or 700, depending on how much. And you can actually just brush away slightly here. Just make it look how you want it to look. Obviously, the smoother your strokes are, the better of a transition you have near the top here. Maybe something like so. But you can pick anything. You don't need to pick multiply. Multiply sort of just darkens everything. So we're gonna go ahead and pick something like overlay, perhaps. Overlay looks really nice. Look at that, it's a really nice one right there. But once again, a bit too much in the face here, so we're gonna go ahead and create a layer mask. Layer masks are great because layer masks can really help you take out what you don't need. And look at that, that looks really cool there. That looks really cool. But like I said, you could just keep the with one texture on top or with two textures on top. Looks really nice. You can also combine textures. To go ahead and delete this real quick. So let's keep this autumn texture. I really like how this looks. But let's go ahead and add maybe this pink texture here, perhaps. Let's see how this looks. A lot of this is experimentation. You know, just experiment around with it and see what you like. That's kind of what this is all about. Finding different textures and experimenting with them. I think that'll be okay if we put it at the bottom here. That should be okay. And remember, we're gonna go up to filters again, blur, and go to Gaussian blur. And maybe, yeah, that's fine right there. And let's pick something like overlay, perhaps. And look, that looks really neat there. But let's try soft light again. Soft light's always really good. Ooh, that looks great. Look at that. That's a neat little. That looks really cool. That looks really cool. And we can move this around even if we wanted to. Maybe something like that. And if you wanted to add a layer mask, we can go layer mask at the bottom here again. Grab our brush. And so we don't want it over our face here. Maybe we could do that. Or if you do want the pink texture over your face and you don't want it up here, you could do something like that. That looks really cool. But lots of experimentation you can do here. Let's go ahead and delete all of these. And let's try adding this winter texture here. And let's see what we can do here. But hopefully you get the idea. You can pretty much use anything. You can try to use a texture like that and even use something like soft light. But you see you get this weird, like you need to do the Gaussian blur to get that creamy look, because it looks kind of weird with most textures. So blur, Gaussian blur again. Let's go ahead and get something like that. And let's add soft light again. That looks very wintry now, as you can see. Maybe we want to make a layer mask here again, and maybe just get rid of some of that on our faces. So see, now we have sort of a wintry texture in the back, but we still have our faces very visible. So yeah, even something like that looks really cool. So that's kind of the idea with this tutorial, just adding textures, playing around with different blending modes, trying out different layer masks to really enhance your picture and make it look really nice. This is very easy to do, and you can make your pictures look a lot better if you don't have that good of a camera, or if you want to add a filter on top of your picture, sort of like, you know, Snapchat has and all these other different Instagram filters and all this stuff. You can create your own filters, you can create your own textures on top of your picture, and it can come out really good. So hopefully you enjoyed the tutorial. If you learned something, if you have any questions or comments, any ideas or feedback, or any tips or tricks for people watching this tutorial, leave in the comment section below. I'll definitely be down there answering any questions you have, reading any feedback. We're all here to learn, so if you have any cool tricks related to this tutorial, definitely leave in the comment section below. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, go and subscribe. Plenty of other cool software tutorials on the channel relating to Photoshop, video editing, audio editing, image editing, lots of cool stuff on the channel, so I recommend you to subscribe. I also have a Patreon page. If you want to donate $8 to my Patreon, you can do so. Anything as low as that is always very helpful and very much appreciated. All you get is click the card in the top right hand corner of the screen, and it'll bring you to the page. I also have a gaming channel, vlogging channel, advice channel, and a music channel. You want to check those out. Links in the description as well as on the end card. And that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching as always. And this is GSmaniamsmart, and I'll be back sooner than you think. Don't go anywhere.